Hello guys, and welcome back again in another episode, or episode number 3 of making a boring crappy engine a tuner dream engine. In this series, or in this episode, I'm gonna make a V8 engine because as we all know, V8 sometimes they come from the factory, especially in SUVs. They come for specifically for making torque, not power, because SUVs are designed for hauling, or for towing, and traveling, and just carrying stuff. And because of the body weight is very heavy, so they design the engine and they tune the ECU to make more torque than power. So in this video I'm gonna take the same engine or the same torquey V8 from this SUV, and I'm gonna make sure that this engine will go to the max if a tuner got one on his hand. So I'm not gonna make a specific Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge engine, but I'm gonna make a similar V8 that you may find in an SUV in 2017 or in 2015 actually, because most of the SUVs in 2017 now are twin turbo V6s. So let's go back to, let's say, 2015. There were V8 SUVs. Alright, so let's start with a aluminium block with a 103 millimeter bore, and actually no, 100 millimeter. Let's start with 99 millimeter bore and a yes, and 97.4 millimeter stroke, which will equal 97 and a half. That's 6004 cc engine, which is really huge. But you may find this size in some SUVs. I mean, some of them came with 5.3 or 5.7 or 6.3, but 6 liter is a good figure. I mean, it's perfect. Alright, so this engine has to have a, let's see if I want to make a modern SUV engine. I'm gonna make it have a, alright, let's go with overhead valve, overhead camshaft with a 4 valves per cylinder, which is really common on SUVs. Most Chevys use push rods, still people use push rod even in 2017, but let's go with a modern V8. Let's go with dual overhead camshaft. Yes, now that's more modern actually. Aluminium head, VVL, because that's how they make it. Cast iron cast. Let's go +2 or +1, because that's the factory. And then I'm gonna use a modern 10.1:1 compression ratio and a 20 cam profile with 50 VVL profile and VVT for all cams. +1 again, naturally aspirated, injection, direct injection, single, standard, 91, 30.7, 50, and 6000. Hope for 6000. And +1 again, short cast, and let's see if we can. Alright, now that's more like it. I mean, the engine is making a ton of power, but let's tune the engine and make it more efficient. Two, yes, that's more like it. So as you can see here, the engine is making good amount of power. highest good amount of power, and because most of the exhausts that come with the factory are always restricting. They are not a high flow exhaust systems. So as you can see, this engine now is actually, it's making good power because it's a 6-liter engine. You can really expect that. Alright, let's hear it and enjoy the stock sound of it. As you can see, guys, if we rev this engine, I mean, this engine will be used under 2000 rpm because it's a daily driving engine, and if you want to save fuel, you have to shift below 2000 rpm, and you can see that most of the torque is below 2000 rpm, as you can see right. As you can see right now, the engine is making 405 pound-feet of torque, which is really good for an SUV, and 335 horsepower. I mean, yes, it's running perfectly, and it has a good economy. It's reliable. It's somehow smooth, and it has a good throttle response. And as you can see, it won't take that much time to produce because it's a mass-produced V8, which is really perfect for a mass-produced SUVs. So let's say a tuner has bought this SUV and he was driving it and he enjoyed the looks of it and the reliability and everything, but he wants more torque and more power. What do you think he will start with? As I always say, if I have this V8, I would directly and immediately start with a better high flow exhaust system, because this exhaust has been designed to restrict some air because to make more torque and to be more quiet. But as a tuner and as a car enthusiast and engine enthusiast, I don't like a quiet exhaust. So the first thing to start the first mod to start with is a high performance exhaust kit. It's not a handmade or hand fabricated, no, it's a kit. So it starts with a tubular header, and I think you have to decrease the ignition timing a little bit. Yes. So a tubular header with a high flow cat and a straight through muffler and a bigger diameter. See this, we have lost a little bit of torque, so we have to use 2.8 inches. 2.8 inches, which is perfect. I mean, it's still a bit restricting a little bit, but look at the difference in power, my friend. Wow, look at that baby over there. 402 horsepower from 335 as a start. Let's hear the new horsepower, my friends. Alright guys, the engine sounds really awesome because most or all V8s actually love a high flow exhaust system, unlike this stupid factory one. Now the second thing we have to do is install a tune on this engine. So you have to buy a tuner, or take the engine, or take the car to a dyno, and they will tune it for you. First of all, start using a 95 octane because it's better, you know, for everything, for a high flow and for a better tuning experience. When you go to the dyno, they will play with the ignition timing, raise it a little bit, so they can, you know, so you can enjoy more throttle response and more economy. I think they will also inject more fuel in, maybe 13.5 or 30, yes, 13.5. And yes, that's the second mod that you should do, which is a tune on the car. Let's hear this engine after it has a new ECU tuned by a professional. Again, the engine sounds awesomely because of the exhaust and the new tune. Also, if you were on the dyno, I think the expert will tell you that the engine can rev a little bit higher, so yes, he will maybe rev it 100 extra RPM, and then you will gain 1 horsepower only. Yes, which is really fine. You are not destroying the engine, it's good, you are still in the safe side. So, what do you think the next mod should be? Guys, you guessed it, it's an easy mod, which is putting a performance intake on this engine. You don't have the money right now to buy a twin or per cylinder configuration. You went online and you bought a better intake manifold and better throttle body and a better intake air filter and air box. So they are the new. You've got them finally in the mailbox, and you have bolted them on the car. You know, the kit includes a high flow or high performance intake manifold, new injectors, and new throttle body, and a new air filter and an air box also. So yes, it's a good mod. It will change the shape of the engine, and it will significantly change the horsepower and torque of the engine, as you can see here. 420 horsepower and 423 pound-feet of torque, and we are now using less fuel, you know, because it has now a better injectors and a higher flow system. Let's hear the new high flow, low restriction air intake system. The engine sounds awesomely because there are no restriction anymore in the air intake, and you can hear the induction sound with the exhaust. It's just magnificent. Now, what do you think the next mod is? You have been enjoying your SUV, you have been taking the kids to school, producing more power, you know, accelerating hard. The next thing you should do is, of course, installing a new camshaft. A better camshaft. Actually, you have 4 camshafts you have to install. So you went online and you bought, let's say from Comcam maybe, or another brand. You have bought a kit for this engine that will give you a better valve lift and a better airflow and everything. Let's see. Alright, let's see. The camshaft itself should get bigger. Right? Let's see, like that. And the VBL profile. We have bought the biggest profile one, right? Alright, so as you can see right now, we have bought a not a big camshaft, a different camshaft, because as you can see here, the camshaft right now is a 11, which is really small, but the VVL profile, which is really big. So that, as you can see here, it will start really torquey here, and then it will drop a little bit, and then the pound feet and the power will just go super high, as you can see right now. Of course, and this the camshafts are higher quality than the stock ones, so it will be +5 here. Of course, the intake system, I always forget about that. +5 also like here. So as you can see right now, the engine has new camshafts in it, and let's hear these beautiful babies running inside. Awesome, now your engine is running really hard, really torquey. I mean, this engine right now is a better version of the Hemi SRT, not the Hellcat, the naturally aspirated one. This is a better one than, I mean, you started with 335 horsepower and 400 and something pound-feet of torque, but now look, 487 horsepower, and we are not finished yet. As you can see, the reliability has gone up because you are using a better camshaft, better exhaust, better intake system, and look, the throttle response is better. Everything is better when you are using a higher quality, high performance aftermarket parts specifically made for this engine. So you have been enjoying the power, you have been beating a lot of guys, you're accelerating hard from the signal lights, and you have been taking the kids to school, you know, going on road trips. You are enjoying the SUV as hard as you can. You have been saving a lot of money and you want to upgrade it to the next level. You have went to a fabricator, a high qualified fabricator, and you ask him, could you please make me a better header, a better exhaust system, and he will do a hand fabricated long tubular header with a bigger exhaust size or exhaust diameter, and yes, you can remove the second muffler. And now you should listen to that babe rumble. Now you have a high flow exhaust system, and it's louder, it's better in every way. Now that, of course, it will be higher quality than the original one. Perfect. Now let's hear it. Oh my god, the engine sounds very good. I really love the new exhaust on this babe. I mean, now it sounds like a monster. 536 horsepower and 468 pound-feet of torque. Wow, just amazing. Now the next mod that you should do on these V8s, which is, you know, just dump these crappy cylinder heads and install a better ones. You searched online for a like an Edelbrock or something that and they make a better, you know, cylinder heads. And yes, you have decided to buy them, and maybe they will cost you like maybe they will cost like $2,000, and you need new camshafts. So yes, you switch to a five valves per cylinder aluminum silicon heads, and let's play with the, yes, of course, with a bigger camshaft, unlike before, which used to be crappy. I mean, even for a 550 horsepower engine, wow, look at that, look at the power curve. I mean, yes, we are now burning more fuel, and it's not really that much reliable, and not that much economical, and we have lost a little bit of smoothness, but who cares? 550 horsepower, let's hear them rumble, my friend. And of course they will be like 7 maybe plus 8, because they are an aftermarket cylinder heads, maybe CNC. Yes, I think they will make them like maybe CNC machine. Alright, let's hear this new beast firing up for the first time with 5 valves per cylinder and a better camshaft. Alright, the engine is making ton of power right now, and as you can see, 554 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque from just a better cylinder head and a much better camshaft. I mean, who needs VVL? VVL is good sometimes, but if you are a real tuner, and you want the maximum horsepower and torque, just go with a 5 valves per cylinder, because they are just much more higher flow than a 4 valves per cylinder. Now the next mod that you should do, which is buying a better intake system. I mean, switching to a twin one, yes, you can gain a little bit more horsepower, only 4 horsepower, but a cylinder per horsepower or throttle per cylinder, wow, look at that. I mean, the torque will go up to 6,000 RPM, and the horsepower will go up to 562. And look at the throttle response, wow. I mean, someone in the comment section told me why you are not using any racing intake, because this is I'm not doing a racing engine. This is a daily driving tuner engine. And look at that baby, carbon fiber. Imagine that. Imagine opening your hood, your SUV hood or your SUV bonnet, and finding a carbon fiber intake manifold. That's just magnificent. Look at the throttles, 8 throttles. Let's hear them rumbling. And there will be also +8, because of course they come with better fuel injectors and better fuel rails, and just amazing. Let's hear this monster fire up. And also you can switch back to 91 octane, because look, we are using only 87.1 octane. You can switch back to 91 octane and save money. Alright, the power is just amazing and the sound is very awesome. Imagine 563 horsepower in your SUV and accelerating hard, taking kids to school with it. It's just amazing to deal with, especially with this carbon fiber intake manifold and the higher flow exhaust system and the camshaft and the cylinder heads. Remember, we are still using the cast internals. The engine has never been opened, or not. Of course it has been opened because we have changed the cylinder heads, but the internals are still inside as stock as it left the factory. Now, and as you can see, look at the reliability. It's more reliable. And the throttle response is just amazing, 73.2 for an SUV engine. Wow, can you imagine that? Pushing the pedal and the SUV and your SUV will fly. Wow, just amazing. Now the next mod that you should do here is going to a master fabricator to fabricate a racing tubular head. And of course you will pay a lot of money for it because it's a handmade, perfectly tuned for you. As you can see here, there is no mass production because this is the racing tubular. This is a fabricated one, custom made. Wow, look at the difference. Much more torque and like 9 horsepower. No, you don't have to change the exhaust diameter. No, you don't have to. Okay. No, that's better like this. Also +8 because it's a handmade exhaust system, and look at the shape of it. And anyone will open your bonnet or your hood of your SUV and they will find that shape with the carbon fiber. Their jaw will just drop on the floor, especially when you started right now. Wow, the sound of it is just amazing. Now, the time has come, guys. The time has really come to open this engine and replace the internals. Let's see, you have been driving this engine, you have been enjoying it, and it's time for you. It's getting a little bit, the car now has a little bit of high mileage because you have been taking the kids to school a lot of what do you call them? A lot of trips in the car, road trips, and you have been traveling and going everywhere with this car, and this engine has been running like a clock. Now it's time for you to open it and replace the internals for better ones, for higher quality ones. So you went to the machine shop, you have asked them to make you a billet steel crankshaft, which is the most expensive one you can make. And of course the connecting rods, which they will be a titanium lightweight ones, and these are so expensive, but you have been saving money a lot because the engine has been running well with you, and you need to treat yourself with it. And of course lightweight forged pistons, and the quality of them is just amazing, like +8. And now after putting these internals inside, of course you have to put a higher compression ratio pistons. So let's go to 95 octane again and stay with it, and go to 12.0 to 1 compression ratio, which is extremely high for an SUV. But look at the internals. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we can increase the RPM finally to its home, which is 8,200. Wow. And while you have opened the engine, just replace the camshafts also for a bigger ones. I mean, yes, you will lose a little bit of torque. Look at the horsepower, my friend. Just look at the horsepower. There will be +15 because you have bought the most expensive camshaft on the market, or the most expensive kit that you can afford on this engine. Of course, the titanium and the forged internals, they will be so expensive, so they will be +15 quality. So we can get this engine right now to the moon, which is 8,500. Wow. After this, you have to take this engine to the dyno to tune the engine well, and then they'll put a better tune in, and it's perfect this way. And of course, after making all this horsepower, you have to make the exhaust a little bit bigger. So yes, that will be 3.5 inches, which is really big for this SUV. But you will cram it in. You will make a custom exhaust system again. I mean, this will cost a lot if you want to open this engine. But look at the difference in power, my friend. Look at the difference. I mean, if you remove the muffler, you will gain a little bit of power, but you will lose torque. It's perfect. Imagine this engine in an SUV. It will just fly. Let's see. Well, since we have a lot of room right now, let's say you have bought a 12.5 to 1 with a higher fuel mixture and so like that. 800 horsepower, my friend. We have done it. We have started 335 horsepower, and now we have an 800 horsepower engine. Imagine this engine in your SUV, revving up to 8,500 RPM, making 800 horsepower. Let's hear it, because I'm itching to hear it. Engine is running perfectly well now, and everything. I mean, 800 horsepower. You are dominating the streets with your SUV. Of course, you have to bolt on your SUV a better brakes, super big ass brakes, better tires, better suspension, and if you want to make it a little bit lighter, maybe some carbon fiber panels, and off you go. I mean, now the SUV, and of course you have to put a carbon fiber wheels on it. but now it's not an off-roader, it's an SUV for the city. But imagine this horsepower in it, 800 horsepower. Oh my god, you are gonna fly off the line. And of course you have to stiffen up your gearbox, because if your gearbox, if it's not really stiff, it cannot take this horsepower and it will explode. So yes, it will cost money, as we all hear on the internet. Tuners spending all their money on their engines, because that's like if you want more horsepower. So the next mod you have to do is maybe change your fuel injectors for high flow, more reliable ones. Maybe let's see. Yeah, everything is well. Maybe the exhaust, put a high flow, better what do you call them, mufflers. These are the last of your mods that you can do on the car to increase its reliability. I mean, yes, the engine now is running perfectly well. It has 804 horsepower, 537 pound-feet of torque, which is humongous. I mean, wow. I mean, you can. I mean, if you have a friend in your machine shop, you can take the engine again, put a higher compression ratio, pistons in it, higher ones like this one. You can increase the fuel a little bit, and you can put 12.8 to 1, my friend. Yes, you have heard me, 12.8 to 1 compression ratio. And using 95 octane fuel, you will have 809 horsepower and 540 pound-feet of torque. Let's hear this monster now after it's finished. Alright guys, the time has come. You all have been waiting for, all your friends has been saying your car is amazing, but you can add more horsepower to it. Guess what? You're gonna make it using the magic of twin turbochargers. Let's use for a start a racing fuel, so we don't blow anything. Twin turbochargers, ball bearing and large with a performance one. Let's drop it the boost a little bit. Of course we have to drop the mission time maybe. Yes. You have to open the engine, I think, and put a low compression ratio pistons in it. I know, I think an NA engine is better, but let's see where this beast will take us. Plus 15. So, yeah, let's want to buy the best one. 900 and 900. Right, 11 psi boost, 1000 horsepower. Right, 1100 horsepower from a, wow, look at that. I mean, we are so close from 1200 horsepower. Yes, look at that. 1200 horsepower from the same engine. Look at that, babe. Wow. Imagine this in an SUV. Imagine that. You would just kick everyone's ass. Let's hear it. Have you seen the power? Have you seen the power, my friends? It's just amazing to see the same 6-liter engine. You know, because everything in it is different right now. The internals, the intake manifold, the air intake. Now it has twin turbos. The exhaust is a lot bigger. The camshafts are different. But remember, we have started with 335 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, and now 1202 horsepower and 777 pound-feet of torque. Imagine this in your SUV, how the acceleration will be. I really want to see an SUV like that. Wow, just wow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I have really enjoyed it. Enjoyed making this monstrosity. As you can see, the game is, you know, lagging as always. If you are tuning an NA engine and suddenly you have switched to turbos and you have started tuning those turbos, as you can see, look at the shadows are stuttering and the texture is not really that much smooth. I mean, it's smooth now because the engine is not running, but when you run it, I mean, the frame rate will just drop a lot, and the game will be really unplayable. So you have to get out of the sandbox here and get back again, and the game will be smooth again. I hope really guys enjoyed this monster engine. I mean, yes, we have changed everything in it except the size, but now we have 1200 horsepower in the same SUV engine. Imagine that in real life. So I'm gonna call this beast SUV Heaven. 1202 horsepower, 6.0 liter Right, and let's see here, I only sport turbo. Wow, it's just amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you are not a subscriber, please consider subscribing and press that subscribe button and to enjoy more cool videos like this one. And if you have some requests for this series, which is how to or not how, this series name is turning a boring reliable engine to a tuner dream engine, and that's what we just did here. Thank you so much guys, thank you so much guys for watching. I will see you in another video later, and bye bye.